Ireland produced a brilliant second half comeback against a fired up England side. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. What a fantastic game of rugby. The opening weekend really did save the best for last, so competitive, and it just swung back and forth, through most of the game, and it wasn't really, until kind of late in the game where we knew who was going to win. And fair play to England for coming over and playing with such heart. You can see they're, much improved compared to their November series where they did go close, to some, big teams, but you could see, defense look better and much sharper in attack as well. But from this one, after Ringrose knocks on a high kick, Smith goes surging through a gap and gives a nice long pass to get England into 22. Ireland force an error and they're able to just about get rid of it, but then Ireland lose Hansen to the blood bin, and Henshaw is on for Ringrose. Henshaw is on and Ringrose has to switch out to the wing, and that was a bit of a worry because we saw Ringrose on the wing for Leinster and he got cut out a little bit defending because he's very good at 13 defending, but out on the wing it's slightly different than shooting up the way he likes to. Could have been a problem. Ireland then steal an English line out and they finally are able to get across halfway because it's been pretty much all England in terms of territory and possession, but England, they're using kicks and competing so well to pin Ireland in their own half. We then have a per kick return kick from Prendergast that allows Smith to run it back. Lawrence then makes a half break. They go wide and then a lovely kick through from Slade that's collected by Murley to score in the corner. Smith then converts from out wide, 7 points to 0. England really good value for the lead at that stage. Ben Earl then he drops the restart and Ireland have a scrum on the edge of the 22. Ireland get forced back though from the scrum. They go wide. Henshaw puts a kick in behind for Lowe. He tries an offload that goes to an English player, but we come back for an Ireland penalty. They kick that to the corner. Byrne claims the line out and they set up the maul. England halt it. Then we have another penalty advantage. Play breaks down. We come back from the penalty. Kelleher then taps that and goes up to the line. England aggressive in the defence, drive Ireland back as they spread it, but we come back for another penalty. England on a warning at this stage. Ireland then tap the penalty. They go out the back. It's recycled. Kelleher goes over, but then we have a team more review, and you see quite clearly that Byrne is holding Itoje in the ruck. So it's no try penalty to England. No argument with that call from me. Mitchell then thinks he's over for England's second try, but it's called back for a knock on by Itoje. England really dictating the game at this stage. They're able to then get into the Ireland half, and they're decent carries, but Byrne gets over the ball and wins the penalty, and he was one of the frontline players really for Ireland today. Ireland then up the line, they go up the line then over the top and the line out to Aki, and then back to the tram lines for Hansen, who makes a break. He then finds Bird, who just marauds up the touchline and goes close to scoring himself. It's recycled and England get penalised. Marcus Smith is off his feet, so he goes to the bin. Ireland then kicks to the corner and they're moving the ball, but then they're pinged for crossing, penalty to England. And England, did really well during their yellow card period, I felt. Then they have a line out from the penalty though, but they throw over the top and Ireland are able to claim it. Ireland on attack, Prendergast on a nice wrap. Van der Fleer almost through a gap before the ball goes forward from Aki. And you're starting to see, little signs from Ireland that they're starting to click at this stage. Ireland then move it into 22. Lowe gets it out wide. There was a possible trip from Stewart there. We never saw the replay of that. Then it comes back inside and Ireland knock it on. England defence just shutting Ireland down at this stage. Ireland, though, have it again, go wide to Lowe. He shrugs off the tackle of Mitchell. He's got Gibson Park in support, who steps Stewart and over to score. Prendergast then hits the outside of the post with the conversion. Really should have gotten that. 7 points to 5. England then come forward. Earl through a gap. He's running at Keenan, looking to step him, but really good tackle from Keenan brings him down. England into 22 with penalty advantage. Itoje then decides that they're going to kick for the post. Smith slots that for 10 points to 5. England up at half time. Into the second half then, England win another penalty in the opening minutes as Keenan is isolated after returning a kick. And I think the penalty was actually there was an Irish player who was like miles offside, come back and made a tackle. He never got himself back on side. England then, finding some space into 22. Ringrose shoots out of the line. Nice step from Smith to avoid his tackle. And, only for a forward pass from Genge, they could have been in again. Ireland then win a penalty at the scrum as Genge hinges. So then Jameson Gibson Park launches an up and under into the England 22. Murley back there alone, no chasers at all from Ireland, but he went to get the ball and wasn't quite under it, and I think it tipped his finger, and then it bounces and it's gone back over the try line. So he's scrambling to make sure that it doesn't go all the way over, and then he does well to get himself back into play. But then England recycle it and are forced over their own line anyway. 5 metre scrum to Ireland. Ireland then get a free kick from the scrum. Kelleher taps that and goes. Gets within a metre of the line. There's a penalty advantage. Ireland go wide, but England, the scramble defence was so good for them today. Able to shut it down. Back for the penalty. There's a round of handbags though before we can actually come back. Referee tells them, players stop running in or somebody's going to go to the bin. Ireland then kick to the corner. Line out has gone really well, so far in the game, and you just feel like it leads to deliver now. Kelleher throws in. They set up the dummy maul. He goes on the wrap around the back of that, but England are able to turn it over. Great defence from them. It was deemed unplayable. Scrum to England. It looked like it might have been on the line, but it was a marginal call, so we're not going to. I don't call it the officials for I don't like to call it the officials, and for that one, definitely wouldn't call somebody out for not giving us that one. Ireland then getting more go forward now. Murley, poor clearance kick from him, and Ireland move it from the line out. Sheehan on now with a good carry. They go wide then to Aki. He bounces Smith and then just rides a tackle from Freeman to score in the corner. Conversion is missed. It's tied up at 10 all. Itoje then pinged for pushing Conan into the line out. Penalties to Ireland. Prendergast lands that for 13-10. Ireland hit the front for the first time. Momentum with Ireland now, and you feel like they need to add scores while they're on top because England will come again. Ireland don't infringe the line out, and England go up the line from the penalty. Ireland noticeably more physical now this half, in contact and at the breakdown, and competing a lot better. Both teams just giving it everything, and it really is a great game. Ireland also winning the kicking battle in the second half. England were on top in that regard in the first half. Cunningham South hits Keenan in the air, and Crowley on a 10 goes up the line. Ireland then move off that line out. Inside ball to Lowe. He bursts through, fixes the cover, and puts Byrne over to score. Crowley converts for 20 points to 10. Ireland now applying the kind of pressure that England were doing in the first 30 minutes of the game. They go wide from a line out. Lovely offload from Crowley. Keenan with a dab through, and he and Lowe chase it. Murley lets it cross his try line and collects the ball, but doesn't actually dot it down. And then Lowe and Keenan arrive and just drag him back into play and over the line for a 5 metre line out to Ireland. England able to clear that then when Curry gets over to win a penalty for them, Conan then makes a break with the middle. They spin the ball wide. Lowe shakes off a tackle, charges into 22, pops it inside for Sheehan, to finish on the line. Crowley converts 27 points to 10, and that was the bonus point try for Ireland as well. England then produce, some quality in the closing stages. Lawrence with a good carry out wide. He finds Murley, who pops it off to Tom Curry to score. Smith misses the conversion. He was taking it quickly because they knew, they didn't have long to restart to go for a losing bonus point. 27 points to 15. England then win a penalty with the clock in the red. Up the line to go in search of that losing bonus point, and the line out goes awry, but they do manage to keep possession. They move it, and Freeman slips a tackle to go over and score under the post. Smith converts. 27 points to 22 is the full-time score. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the stats, and then we'll chat a little bit about each of the teams. So let me pull those up on the official site. Where are we here? Okay, there we go. Right, so first of all, possession, 51 to 49. Again, not much between the teams. Territory, 58 to 42 in favour of Ireland. A lot of that was definitely second half because England had, probably, close to that margin in the first half. Ireland definitely on top the second half though. On attack then, attacking minutes, 15.7 for Ireland, 20.8 for England. And, Ireland had a lot of attacking time in the first half and didn't really do much with it. But then second half, they that clinical, edge that we expect from them came back. England, more attacking time, and, they kind of bookended Ireland's tries with their own tries in the game. But in that crucial middle period, they weren't able to find the gaps that they were able to, at the extremities of the game, as it were. Tries scored then 4-3 in favour of Ireland. Carries 123 to 107. Meters carried 862 to 715. And then meters gained 467 to 432, so much closer in that regard. Line breaks 10-9 in favour of Ireland. Defenders beaten 25 to 32. So we talked about England scrambling being good, but obviously with England beating more defenders, Ireland scrambled good too, but we expect that from the Ireland defence at this stage anyway. Total passes then 207 to 128. Offloads 9 from Ireland to 3 for England. Handling errors 22 for Ireland to 13 for England. So high handling error count from Ireland, but again, a lot of that I think was first half, and it wasn't to the extent that we saw in November, where it felt like it was just poor play and timing being off, etc. In this game, we saw them getting the timing right so many times, created a lot of scores as well. Turnovers conceded then 12 for Ireland and 16 for England. On to kicking. Kicks and play, 31 from Ireland and 38 from England. So the most exciting game of the weekend had far more kicks than any other game. I think the other teams average round about kind of 26, 27 kicks each. So just over 50 in the other games. In this one, almost 70 games or 70 kicks in the game. But the far more exciting, by far the most exciting of the games of the weekend. Kicking meters then 998 for Ireland, which is the kind of number you would normally associate with France or Scotland. They're kind of the biggest kickers in the Six Nations, and 855 for England is decent as well. On to defence then, tackles made 149 for Ireland to 150 for England, so pretty much even there. 32 missed tackles for Ireland to 26 for England. 82% tackles made for Ireland, 86 for England. So both teams have been, again, being aggressive, shooting out of the line. So you're not going to make every single tackle. But I thought both defenses were really good, and it took some, really incisive attacking play from either team to kind of open up the defense as well. No intercepts from either team. Onto discipline then. Penalties conceded, 8 for Ireland and 11 for England. So again, Ireland doing that crucial thing of keep your penalties in single figures. England not quite being able to manage that. They were on a warning a couple of times as well for a potential, another yellow card. Free kicks conceded then, 1 for Ireland and 2 for England. I think for the most part, I think they were at the scrums for those. Then offensive penalty conceded 4-2, and then defensive penalty conceded 4-9. So, England, pretty much the fact that they were getting over the ball so much is why Ireland were conceded those offensive penalties, I think. Yellow cards then 1-0 for England, and then no red cards in the game. On to breakdown then. Rooks won 90-89 again. Almost a dead heat between them. Rooks lost 6 for Ireland and 1 for England, though. Again, it shows how competitive England were at the Rooks. Rooks 0 to 3 seconds. Ireland 52% to 42 for England. Up to this point, I think Wales had the most Rooks under 0 to 3 seconds, but I think Ireland probably have overtaken them in that stat. Then 4 to 6, 36 to 31. Just 12% of Ireland's Rooks over 6 seconds, 27% for England. So, England had that fast ball in the second half, or first half, sorry, but Ireland able to slow the ball down in the second half. England competitive, being able to turn the ball over in the first half, but Ireland were able to kind of negate that for the most part in the second half, and then the speed of their Rook caused problems for England, not allowing them to reset their defence and being able to exploit those gaps. Breakdown steals, just 1 for Ireland, 5 for England. Again, just shows how competitive they were there. Mauls won 3 each and no Mauls lost. It wasn't really a game where Mauls were deciding things. It wasn't. I thought Maul defense from both teams actually was very good. They didn't, no drive over tries or anything like that. On set piece then, scrums won 5-3 and no scrums lost. Pretty even in the scrums, I'd say. I think Ireland maybe edges slightly just because of winning a penalty. Lineouts won then 23-14, and lineouts lost, none for Ireland and 1 for England. So Ireland's lineout, Ireland misfiring completely in November, but the lineout was the worst part of their play overall, and the same for much of the province as well. Other than Connacht, who've got probably one of the best defensive, or not the best defensive lineout in the URC, but completely turned around. So fair dues to Paul O'Connell. I was talking about him in the build-up, preview of the Six Nations and preview for this game as well, that, could he actually turn things around? Yes, he did. Hopefully now going up against the Scotland lineout, which is always, or pretty much always, excellent. Let's see how they do there as well. But for this game, brilliant to see how they did. Successful penalty kicks then, 1 each, and 2 successful conversions each. 2 conversions missed by Ireland and 1 by England. And then let me see if we can pull up some. There's only a few kind of player stats here, if we can find some. Let me see. Gonna pull up just Tom Curry's performance. So Tom Curry, meters carried 3, defenders beaten 1, tackles 11, breakdown steals 3. Like they had 4 steals and he got 3 of them. That just shows you how brilliant he was. In a losing team as well. Some really good stuff from them. We're gonna just quickly talk about each of the teams, as I said. So Ireland, looked off the pace for much of the first half, but they did kind of work their way into the game and kind of in the third quarter, then picked up really well after the halftime break. Line out, that has been terrible, was absolutely fantastic. Scrum was solid. Bench had an impact. We're not used to that in Ireland. Handling then much better than we saw in November. Low, really good. Aki as well, and Ringrose in midfield. James Gibson Park was excellent, both tens, and as I said before this game, honestly, for me, I don't really care which one starts and which one finishes, as long as they both get decent enough game time, and I think they will be rotated through the tournament. Baird then good early on, and then Tyke Byrne was absolutely immense. Good to see him back in really good form. Van der Fleer and Doris both had big second halves. Conan and Sheehan, massive impact off the bench. I thought, young Clarkson as well did well. Finlay Beelum keeping that scrum solid, and then Clarkson, when he come on, didn't let the side down. Bonus point win, after such a tough start. I definitely would have taken that after 20 minutes of this game. But another big performance needed now against Scotland next week. England had the perfect start, and they had the early try, and then also stretching their lead by halftime after Ireland responded. Very physical, so competitive at the breakdown. Kicked really well in the first 40. Itoje, so abrasive. The back row with both Curry brothers in there, turned over so much ball. Earl, not the impact maybe that he wanted in that back row either. They couldn't quite, get him galloping in space, other than the one where Keenan did so well to take him down. And didn't mention Keenan in the wrap-up for Ireland, but yeah, he had a great game as well. But you can't mention the whole team, unfortunately. Murley then, dream start to his debut, but very suspect under the high ball, and Ireland targeted that very well in the second half. Lawrence and Smith both had good games, and they did well too to come back and claim that losing bonus point late on in the game. And thing is, we don't know how significant that's going to be later in the tournament. Very good performance for England, well deserved of their losing bonus point as well. And you can see England definitely an improving side. Now, this game, I just thought overall fantastic rugby. It's what we want to see in the Six Nations. Two teams really having a go at each other. Every element of the game so competitive. Some really good tries scored as well. Some brilliant, defense, last ditch defense, and holding that line as well. Again, it's what we live for, really, in terms of watching the Six Nations. So let me know what you think down in the comments.